Hello and welcome to the Formula Racing League. We are in for some F2 action here on the streets of Monte Carlo. This is round 9 of the championship. Just 3 rounds to go before we do crown our Tier 1 champion for Season 3. We currently have what looks like 9 drivers on show. There could well be 10 by the time the feature race does begin. But first, it's a one-shot qualifying to determine who will start from pole position for the feature race in a few minutes' time. So drivers just preparing their last minute setups before they do that all-important one lap that will decide the grid for tonight's feature race. Rundown on the championship standings: Big Boss Bells and Santi are the championship contenders. Big Boss Bells has a 34-point lead over Santi, and a long way down we've got Luna Ascari in third on 85 points. But she joined the championship later than most of the others, hence why she only has that amount of points. But if she continues her good run of form, she may just have a slim chance of the title, but third is probably her best bet. So it's a two-way battle for the title between Big Boss Bells and Santi going into this round. Well, qualifying has begun now, so we've got an opportunity to ride on board with Let's go to Big Boss Bells, the championship leader, shall we? So coming into Casino, didn't take the best of lines through the exit of Casino, and now we're heading towards Mirabeau. And it's the slowest corner of the season, Lowe's hairpin. Before you come around towards Porte. Positioning, nailing the apexes, and good exit speed is so crucial when it comes to F2. Big Boss Bells needs to take as wide of a line as he can before entering the Nouvelle chicane. So back next up, through there nicely. And then the swimming pool chicane, Le Piscine. And the La Escasse. And then the last corner, Anthony knows for Big Boss Bells goes onto the start finish straight. DRS open, just the one DRS zone on this Monte Carlo circuit. Over the line goes Big Boss Bells, and he goes to second spot on the grid. Emerson Hilton went even faster with his lap, so he gets the 4 championship points for qualifying on feature race pole. And I believe Emerson's one of those who's been called in as one of the reserves. By the way, he will start from feature race pole ahead of Big Boss Bells alongside this Jay Hartnell and Santi on row 2. Nivi and Rosie are on row 3, followed by Dragon on Speed and Luna Ascari on row 4. Dan Murphy didn't complete a lap, and so he starts 9th on the grid. Maybe another driver joining the grid. And very shortly we'll find out in around about 15 seconds time. So you have just joined us on the stream. We do welcome you. Feel free to get involved in the conversation. Luna Ascari not very happy with her lap, understandably so. But that was qualifying. The feature race is coming up. And a lot can change in what looks like a 21 lap feature race in Monaco. It's saying there are only 8 drivers who gone into the race, actually. Just looking to see which driver it is that's pulled out. Can't quite tell on that. We are now starting the formation lap here in Monaco. So a chance to see who will be starting on whatever tyres. Everyone apart from Rosie are starting on the softs. Rosie is beginning the race on the super soft compound. We do have 9 drivers on the grid. Jogging on speed looks as though he's being controlled by the AI. Hopefully we'll see him back in the car before the race begins. But Emerson leading the field round on the formation lap ahead of Big Boss Bells. Jay Hartnell 3rd, Santi 4th. There's Nivi in 5th, Rosie ahead of Dragon and Ascari, and Dan Murphy making up the grid there. So Emerson leading the field round to the end of the formation lap. So 21 laps or 30 minutes, whichever comes first. And this will not only decide points, but it will also decide the reverse grid for the sprint race shortly afterwards. Top 8 get reversed. So all 9 drivers in this race will score points, providing they do get to the checkered flag, of course. They really want to be going for victory, though. So the last few drivers taking up their positions on the starting grid. And then this Monaco feature race will begin when the 5 lights go out. Lights out, and away we go. Emerson gets off the line reasonably well. Big Boss Bells almost getting jumped there by Jay Hartnell, but it's Emerson who leads out of Sandefort. Then it's Big Boss Bells in second place, ahead of Santi's got ahead of Jay Hartnell coming out of Sandefort and up through Massenet. So Santi making up 1 position so far. Rosie in 5th place ahead of Dan Murphy. I'll say Dan Murphy. It's actually Nivi in 6th. And Rosie, they make contact as they go through Casino Square. And Nivi remains in front of Rosie in 5th position. But it's Emerson who still maintains the lead at the start, followed by Big Boss Bells, and it's Santi, Jay Hartnell, Nivi, Rosie, Luna Ascari up 1 position into 7th place, then it's Dan Murphy and Dragon, who is now back in play and will take control of the MP Motorsport car. So into the tunnel they go through for the first time. Emerson on a charge so far. Back they go. And the cars are filled up with fuel as well, so they won't be quick as what they were. Oh, and Emerson spun it! Emerson's hit the wall at the swimming pool chicane. He's broken his front wing and he falls to the back of the field. Disaster for the pole sitter, and Emerson's got it all to do. So Big Boss Bells now into first position ahead of Santi, but Emerson will be regretting that mistake so much. Emerson's going to need to come into the pits to get a front wing replacement. And to make matters worse, that will not count as his mandatory pit stop. In fact, that's another thing I will talk about. Drivers have to make a mandatory pit stop during a feature race, but they can't take that stop until the end of lap 3. So Emerson's going to have to pit again before the race is done. I'd be interested to know what tyres he's gone back out. He's gone out on another set of softs, so he'll be praying for a safety car. The Big Boss Bells is your new race leader ahead of Santi with Jay Hartnell 3rd, Nivi 4th, Rosie 5th, Luna Ascari in 6th, Dan Murphy 7th, then it's Dragon in 8th, and Emerson exiting the pits now in 9th place. And Big Boss Bells going across the chicane, well, almost going across the chicane. He went over the curbs, got away with it there. Through Lara Scass, and Rosie's picked up the first penalty of the race, 3 seconds for exceeding track limits too many times. No DRS for the first 2 laps of the race. Oh, she spun it! Rosie has spun it at Sandefort. She wrecks her front wing And that'll be her going into the pits to get rid of those super soft tyres. Now, I suppose the good news for her is, next time round, she'll be able to use that as her mandatory pit stop. So that's another one. Another victim of the barriers here on the streets of Monte Carlo. I wonder how many more will take a hit from those unforgiving walls. Big Boss Bells looking to continue the pace he's setting at the moment. Santi keeping the gap to within 1 second, so he can at least try and use DRS whenever he can to get in front of the Campos driver. There is Jay Hartnell in 3rd place, with Nivi in 4th, and Luna Ascari now up to 5th place in the ART. And Dragon getting a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits now, so we've got 2 drivers with time penalties to their names. This is the closest battle at the moment. For 6th position, as Murphy fends off the MP, and Dragon nearly going into the back of the dams as they came into Laris Gas. Jay Hartnell with a new fastest lap of the race. You get 2 points for the fastest lap in F2. Now Murphy and Dragon coming over the line. And I think Rosie nearly spun again coming out of Laris Gas. She'll fall behind Emerson. But Big Boss Bells continuing to lead out in front. Santi in 2nd place ahead of Hartnell. Nivi in 4th. Luna in 5th. And we've got these two fighting over 6th place. Emerson setting a new fastest lap. It's a 1 minute 20.5. That's considerably faster than what the leaders are setting. So setting some good pace so far. But the bad news for him is, because he's taken that pit stop before the end of lap 3, he'll have to come in again. This time to put the super soft tyre on, which he obviously has to be on before the end of this race. So for a dry race, all drivers must use both sets of dry compound tyres during a dry race. Murphy now getting a 3-second time penalty, as does Hartnell. So we've got 4 drivers out of the 9 with time penalties to their name, 3 seconds each. Big Boss Bells and Santi don't have time penalties to their name at this present moment, as they continue to pull clear of the rest of the field. There is Emerson, continuing to set some good pace in the UNI Virtuosi. I suppose with the clear track ahead of him, that's part of why he's so quick. So Big Boss Bells pulling away a little bit now from Santi. 1.5 seconds is the gap. Jay Hartnell 3rd, Nivi 4th, Luna 5th. Dan Murphy pulling away from Dragon, whose car is controlled by the AI as we speak. Emerson looking to close in all the time. She's doing so. We'll be hoping for a safety car. We're now on lap 6 out of 21. Now, considering the pace that the leaders are setting, we will get to the 30-minute mark. But we will get to the 30-minute mark on the final lap of the race anyway, so there won't be a shortage of laps in comparison to the scheduled race distance. Now here's Rosie, who rejoined behind the Virtuosi of Emerson. She's looking to use the pace on those super soft tyres to good effect to try and get herself back into good position. It's very hard to overtake on the streets of Monte Carlo, so I think the characteristics of the Monte Carlo track will play into her hands, but she still needs to set some really, really strong pace to get back into contention for a top 5 finish. Dan Murphy now has another 3 seconds worth of time penalty added for exceeding track limits too many times. He's in 6th place behind Ascari. Here's Emerson. He'll be looking to go as quick as he can before he does need to pit for the super soft compound. Won't come until around lap 14 or 15 at least for the pole sitter. It's a shame now he's in that position. Closest battle on track at the moment is between Santi and Jay Hartnell for 2nd place. Although Hartnell does have that 3-second time penalty that he'll need to serve by the end of this one. Now here's Murphy, closing in now on Ascari for 5th position. Riding on board with him. He's now within range to use the DRS down the start finish straight. I don't know how much good use is that going to be, to be honest with you, with Murphy. So he's using it now to at least close in on the ART. And he's cut the curve as well. He's got another 3 seconds worth of time penalty added. That takes his total to 9 for the race now for the Dams driver. Now Emerson closing in on the MP of Dragon, who is not controlling the car at the moment. The car is being controlled by the AI, so this is going to be an easy move now for Emerson to get by. Murphy looking to make a move on Ascari. Now we're going to be riding on board the Dams drivers as they come through the seat. Paris Gas and then on to start finish straight after Sam Devot. We're now on lap 9 out of 21. We're approaching half race distance. And it won't be too long before we start seeing pit stops from the leaders. I think what Emerson will try and do as well is, because he's having to take his mandatory pit stop at some point in the race, he's going to try undercut the field to begin with, and then take the tyres as long as they can before he has to make a pit stop, maybe come in on the penultimate lap to get rid of those super soft tyres. And Big Boss Bells has now got a time penalty of 3 seconds. That'll go to his race time at the end. And with the gap over Santi, it's the Kramer driver who would win this race. But there's still some way to go yet before we can start thinking about how the penalties will have an effect on the race result. So Emerson in 7th place now, 15 seconds behind Murphy, who's all over the back of the ART of Ascari. DRS open on the Dams. No change of position. We come into Sandevot. Oh, and Emerson hits the wall. I think he got away without damage, but he won't want to be doing that too many times in this race. And Santi now over 3.5 seconds behind. He's now out of range of going for the victory, unless Big Balls Bells decides to get another penalty or makes a mistake somewhere. So Big Balls Bells crossing over the line. It's 22.3 for him. And Dan Murphy's time penalty increases. He's now on 12 seconds in this race. He won't want to be doing that too many times, otherwise it could end up being a disqualification for him. There is Emerson making up ground off that mistake he did at the end of the previous lap. We're now on lap 11. Should be seeing pit stops very, very, very soon. The thing is for Emerson, will he catch up to the back of where Ascari and Murphy are before the leaders start pitting? Because if so, he will start losing time. He's got to hope the leaders do pit him very, very soon. He is setting a pace which is run about 2 seconds faster, I would say, than Ascari and Murphy. Now Emerson's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. I mean, to be honest, most of the field have got a time penalty to their name now. Just Santi, Nivi and Luna have not received penalties in this race. So Emerson coming through to complete the 11th lap. The gap between him and Murphy just under 11 seconds. So Big Balls Bells' gap to Santi increasing all the time. It's now 5.7 seconds between those two. Jay Harnell another 1.3 seconds behind. The closest battle still is between Ascari and Murphy over 5th position. Now, Emerson has already taken about 1.3 seconds out of Murphy's margin already on this lap. So there's no doubt that he's closing in on the dams, pushing ever so hard, all he can. He may have got a warning going over the curves there at the swimming pool chicane, but he's carrying on anyhow. On the start-finish straight he goes. I think he's taken about 2.4 seconds out of Murphy's margin in front. So there's no doubt that Emerson's flying on his super softs. So Murphy trying to take a different line to what Ascari's doing. And Jay Hartnell in the pits now for HWA from 3rd place. He'll rejoin behind Emerson, I should think. Ascari's in as well. Should be going on to the super soft compound. I think Jay Hartnell may rejoin ahead of Emerson, actually. So Jay Hartnell rejoins in 5th place, with Emerson closing in on HWA. Ascari exiting the pits in 7th place. She's got some clean air now, actually. She does not have a time penalty to her name at the moment. The cars are beginning to hang over the Monte Carlo circuit. I hope we don't see some rain. And they certainly make it very, very tricky for the drivers. Jay Hartnell in 5th place now on the pressure super soft compound. And Big Boss Bells and Santi are both in the pits now. I think Big Boss Bells had to wait a little bit to allow the Prema to go past. This will allow... Oh, Nivi's coming as well. So Big Boss Bells, I think, is going to maintain the lead here. So the top 4 all pitting on the same lap. Jay Hartnell on the start finish straight now. I think Santi's still ahead of him, actually. He is. So whilst Santi may be getting his tyres up to temperature, Jay Hartnell will have an opportunity to close in on the Prema. Emerson coming into the pits for UNI Virtuosi for his mandatory stop. He's now ahead of Murphy, actually, because Murphy, I believe, needed to pit in for a new nose. So that puts Emerson up into 6th position, on the road at least anyway. Ascari back ahead of Emerson and Murphy after her stop. So race order, Big Balls Bell still in the lead with Santi 2nd. Then it's Jay Hartnell ahead of Nivi in 4th, Ascari 5th, Emerson back up to 6th place now ahead of Murphy, Rosie and Dragon, who is the last driver to pit in for his mandatory stop. See there's the campus of Big Buzz Bells, who's just lapped the MP driver of Dragon. So as it stands, Rosie will start on reverse grid pole. Big Buzz Bells will extend his lead at the top of the championship. It was 34 points before the race started. That is set to increase to 41 going into the sprint race. Unless Santi can get to within 3 seconds of his rival, that would see him take victory and close the gap in the championship. Rosie's in the pits now for High Tech. She's in need of a new nose cone. I suppose now, with the set of super softs going on the High Tech, she can now try and go for the fastest lap. She's being lapped by the leaders now is Rosie. Big Boss Bell's now setting the new fastest lap, which is good news for him as far as the championship is concerned. And see his points lead increase to 43. At least Rosie can remain in front of the MP of Dragon in 8th. And Emerson all over the back of Ascari with DRS. He's now got the fastest lap points back. Big Boss Bells does not have that anymore. Perhaps the use of DRS helped him a little bit, get a little bit more speed down the straight. Emerson going to the inside as they go into Massenet can't quite pull the move off. Almost going side by side into Mirabeau, but Ascari shut the door. I think Emerson's best chance is going to be down into the Nouvelle chicane. Coming through the tunnel, and Emerson looks to try to get the move done on the ALT as they go into the Nouvelle chicane. Goes to the outside. Ascari leaves enough room, and they both get through the Nouvelle chicane safely. So Emerson rounding Saint-Devote. Not Saint-Devote, sorry, Anthony knows it is. DRS open. Into the slipstream. Does he go down the inside into Saint-Devote? The answer is no. He needs to get past Ascari. Does Emerson, which he does now. He does the switchback as they go up through Beau Rivage. And the UNI Virtuosi gets up into 5th place now. So Emerson completing the first genuine overtake of the race, getting by Ascari on the exit. He just needs to pull out a 3-second margin on an hour, actually, and he'll be able to keep hold of 5th. Luna Ascari now just needs to do all she can to stay with him. So Big Boss Bell still leading. Just needs to not make any mistakes from here on in. Don't think about the fastest lap point, or the fastest lap points, which is currently held by Emerson. You just need to make sure he takes the victory when the time penalties do apply. And Rosie crossing the line, actually. What was her lap time there? I didn't see what her lap time was. It was a 21.3, which is not the fastest of this race. I think she is using the pace that she has, or the freshness of her super soft to good effect, to at least close in on Jay Hartnell. Should be thinking more about qualifying on reverse grid pole as well, which will give her an opportunity to go for the victory in the sprint race. Jay Hartnell almost going wide into Lowe's. And Santi's now got a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and Murphy nearly losing it coming out of Casino Square. Santi's now got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits too many times. So that's his chances of victory gone now. Unless Big Bills Bells gets another time penalty of his own, which is unlikely to happen now with the lead that he's got. There is Nivi in 4th position. He won't be moving up as it stands with the penalties. Coming round now to complete 19, lap 19 that is. And we're now on the penultimate lap of this Monaco feature race in the T1 category of Formula 2 in the Formula Racing League. Luna Ascari has fallen out of range to get back ahead of Emerson by the end of this race. 4.6 seconds it is. Emerson trying to close in on 4th place Nivi, but I think even if he was to get past him, he would need to open out a 3-second margin on the Carlin driver. Now Big Bills Bells has just started his final lap. Just 3.3 kilometres more to complete, and the 25 points for the feature race win will be his. Let's see his lead over Santi extend before we go into the sprint race. in a few minutes' time. Rosie, as it stands, will start on reverse grid pole as well. So Big Boss Bell's dominant throughout this one since Emerson made that mistake on the opening lap. He's been untroubled since. So coming through the swimming pool chicane for the last time. Riding the curbs. Into Loris Gas. Coming out of Anthony Nose. And it's Big Boss Bells. He will take the feature race victory in Tier 1, in F2, in the Formula Racing League. Big Boss Bells cross over the line to win the feature race in Monaco. 25 points goes to the Campos driver. Santi will cross the line in second place. Now, he should finish ahead of Jay Hartnell, actually, which he does. Second for him, Jay Hartnell third. Nivi will come home in fourth place. One of only two drivers to go through the entire event without being penalised. Emerson will be fifth, but it could have been so much more for him. But he does get the fast lap points as well. Luna Ascari will be sixth, ahead of Dunn Murphy, who's closed in on her in the last few laps or so. Ascari crossover the line in sixth, Dunn Murphy seventh, Rosie in eighth, and a lap down and on reverse grid pole. And Dragon picking up the last 2 points in ninth position. The Big Boss Bells is your race winner. He starts the night with another victory to his name. And that victory for Big Boss Bells. Just looking to see how many race wins he's got this season in F2. It's his fourth victory of the season. What can he produce in the sprint race later on? There'll be a 15-lap sprint race as well, so do please stay tuned to that. So a final classification of the feature race. Big Boss Bells is the winner. Santi coming in second place. Jay Hartnell third. Nivi fourth. Emerson in fifth place and getting the fast lap points. Luna Ascari is sixth. Dan Murphy seventh. Rosie in eighth and on reverse grid pole. Dragon making up the finishes in ninth place. So 9 drivers started, 9 drivers finished the race. And with that result, that sees Big Boss Bells' lead extend to 41 points over Santi in the race for the title, with only 5 races left, including the sprint race coming up very, very shortly. We are here for the sprint race. Rosie, who finished 8th in the feature race, will start on reverse grid pole. Alongside her will be the driver who finished 7th, which was... just trying to work it out. It was Dan Murphy who finished 7th. So he will start second place on the grid. Luna Ascari will be 3rd. 4th is Emerson. Then it's Nivi in 5th. Jay Hartnell 6th. Santi 7th. Big Boss Bells in 8th. And making up the grid will be Dragon. Which that car I think will be controlled by the AI for this one, unless the human player is back. And I'm sure all the drivers will start on the soft tyres, which they do, so we shouldn't be seeing any pit stops in this race unless we do see drivers making their way into the pits to get new front wings fitted on. But Rosie has an opportunity to convert this reverse grid pole into a race victory. Rosie's best result this season has been a second place finish in a feature race in round 4. Now looking on the F2 calendar, it was at Silverstone on the shorter layout. So that's been her best result this season. Her best result in a sprint race has been a 4th place finish in the opening round. So she will lead the field onto the grid. Can she be able to convert her reverse grid pole into the race victory? Can Murphy do anything about it? If you were to ask me who's the favourite to take the victory, it's probably going to be Emerson, given that he qualified on pole position for the reverse grid for the feature race before he had his calamity at the swimming pool chicane towards the end of the opening lap. Rosie coming onto the grid now anyway. All the drivers are now in position and wait for those 5 red lights to come on, and we'll be underway for the second time here in Monaco. 5 red lights are on. Lights out, and away we go for the sprint race. Rosie gets off the line cleanly. Dan Murphy pulls alongside to the outside, and then we've got the ART of Ascari looming in behind. Dan Murphy round the outside and into the lead out of Sunday Vault. So Murphy making a great getaway from second position to take the lead ahead of the high tech. Then we've got Ascari who's looming in behind in 3rd place. In Emerson still in 4th ahead of Nivi. Then it's Santi in 6th position in the Prema. Jay Hartnell 7th ahead of Big Boss Bells, and Dragon making up the top 9. Into the Lowe's hairpin they go. Dan Murphy still in front of Rosie. We've got an incident in Sector 2, I believe. Has anyone got front wing damage? It could just be that they're almost all in gridlock, actually. So there's no damage. But Dragon has almost come to a halt at the Lowe's hairpin. Dan Murphy still in the lead, with Rosie in 2nd. And it's Ascari 3rd. Emerson in 4th. Nivi in 5th. Santi 6th. Jay Hartnell 7th. And Big Balls Bells 8th. With Dragon a long way back now in 9th place. That car is controlled by the AI as well, I believe. So Murphy coming round to complete the opening lap in the lead. But will it stay that way between now and the checkered flag? There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the race. Emerson will need to try and get by the ART of Ascari as soon as he can, really. He was able to complete the switchback on Ascari in the feature race when he was fighting over position with her. And almost getting the job done out of Beau Rivage and through Massenet. Now, can he complete a switchback as they almost go into Mirabeau? Ascari switching lines to defend. Very nicely done by Luna. Shot in the door as well. No way through for Emerson. They can. The UNI Virtuosi driver get the job done down into the Neufeld chicane. Just needs to get a good exit speed out of Portier before he gets onto the back of the ART. Rosie dropping back all the time at the moment from Murphy in front. Emerson in 4th position. No way through the swimming pool chicane. Can he maybe complete a switchback as they go in towards Larascas? Emerson going to the outside. Luna shutting the door on him again. Coming onto the start-finish straight. Now this could be Emerson's best chance to get the move done here. Ascari's going to need to go defensive here, forcing Emerson to the outside as they enter Sunday Vault for the 3rd time. They touch! And Ascari's into the barrier! Or into the runoff area on the outside. And Ascari's race is pretty much done, to be honest with you. And she's out of the race. Luna Ascari will be going no further in the sprint race. She came together with Emerson as the enter standard thought she probably shut the door too late on him. She was committed over to the right, but pulled over to the left to cover her line too late on Emerson. I don't think you can really blame Emerson on that occasion. But we do have a safety car now for the first time today. So no points for Luna Ascari in the sprint race here today. She won't be too pleased with that. Now, will any of the drivers take the opportunity to pit in? And now, if you are at the back of the field, you may think, you know what, I actually fancy going onto a set of the Supersoft compound to try and get past some of these guys. Big Boss Bells will be thinking, maybe I want to try and do that, if possible. Don't pass Jay Hartnell though, mate. You are under safety car conditions. So Big Boss Bells deciding to stay out. Now Murphy catches up to the safety car now. It's maybe good news for Rosie actually, because she can now get onto the back of him and maybe try and pull off a decent restart once the safety car does pull back him. So we're on lap 4 out of 15 in the F2 sprint race in the Formula Racing League Tier 1 category. If you're wondering why we're under safety car conditions, it's due to a collision where Luna Ascari went off into the barrier at Saint-Defort after a collision with Emerson, which saw her end her race on the spot. And if that was in real life Formula 1, they may have been able to just done that on the double wide yellows, but as far as this game is concerned, it's decided to deploy the safety car, which has seen Murphy's lead being wiped out pretty much. The lead was only about a couple of seconds anyway. But still, it's not ideal, and it's given Emerson an opportunity to get onto the back of these two and go for the victory. Safety car won't be pitting in this lap. They'll be going around to do another lap. Now, considering that Dan Murphy caught up to the safety car at Beau Rivage, the lap time he is about to set, I'm just trying to work out whether this race is going to be decided by time or it will be going to the full 15 laps. So 1:49.7, so 28 seconds slower than... Oh, and Rosie nearly losing it there, nearly going to the back. Well, she did make contact with Dan Murphy. Now that's interesting because she's got a 5-second time penalty being given to her. Doesn't appear as though she's got damage. So if it was any contact at all, it would have been very slight. But it's still enough for her to be awarded a time penalty by the stewards. They are now coming through the tunnel. Now, if the safety car is coming in at this lap, then Dan Murphy's time, I would reckon, on this lap will be slower than what it was before, because he's been behind the safety car for a whole lap, and he'll be backing the field up to make sure he's got enough space to complete a decent rolling start to pull away from the rest of the field. And the safety car is coming in at this lap. The lights go off, so Murphy will be backing up the field now as he prepares for the restart. The safety car is now in the pit lane. And Dan Murphy will go now, by the looks of it, and pull away from Rosie. Rosie's sticking to him like glue. It's a decent restart from Murphy. 4 tenths clear And he's pulling away. We're on lap 6, and Rosie getting another 3-second time penalty to what she's already got. Time penalty of 8 seconds. 10 laps remaining in the sprint race. Will we see Murphy taking to the top step of the podium? Now, Murphy's highest finish this season has been a second place finish in the sprint race of round 4, which was at Silverstone. In that same weekend, he picked up a third place finish in the feature race. Oh, and Rosie, she ran into the back of Murphy. She won't want to be doing that on too many occasions, otherwise she will be getting a time penalty for it. And well, to be fair, she's already got 8 seconds worth of time penalty, so now she's trying to fend off the UNI virtuosi of Emerson. So come through Loris Gus, and Anthony knows now. Emerson might be able to get onto the back of Rosie. Now Rosie's going to have to go defensive here. She doesn't want to be doing what Luna Scoria had done earlier and close the door on Emerson too late. She stays in second for now. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. Emerson will be looking to get on with the job as soon as he can, really. Coming out of Casino. Emerson looking to get by. And no change of position there. And Rosie, in fact, is closing on Murphy now. I think Murphy's had a really poor lap as we speak. And Rosie is narrowing down the gap all the time. And the virtuosi will be continuing to close in like he has been since the restart. Can he pull alongside the high tech as they go through Sandevot? The answer is no. So he waits behind a little bit longer. And Anderson looking to get past the high tech as they go through into Massenet. Can't do it there. I'm able to do the switch because they exit Casino Square. Side by side they go as they head into Mirabeau. And Emerson surely has got second place now. Unless Rosie can fight back. They bang wheels as well. And Rosie goes to the inside into Lowe's. Forces Emerson out wide. And that's great driving, great racing between these two. Just what we want to see in Monaco. Oh, Rosie's made a mistake out of Portier, and surely Emerson's got enough drive and straight to pull alongside and go in front of the high tech on this occasion. But Rosie's not giving up though, and so she goes to the inside and keeps hold of second place. But all of this battling is allowing Murphy to pull further and further away. DRS has now been enabled, so Emerson may be able to use that to his advantage to get in front of the high tech. Crucial part of the race now as well. Emerson with DRS. And Nivi under pressure from the Prema of Santi. Jay Hartnell trying to fend off Big Balls Bells as well. Big Balls Bells not making that much of an impression in the sprint race. Now Emerson will be looking to get past the high tech very, very soon. To exit Portier. Emerson looking to get by. May need to just get into the slipstream and just go for a dive bomb into the Nouvelle chicane, which he does. Go into the inside as they enter the Nouvelle chicane. Has Emerson done it? Oh, Rosie cut the chicane. She'll have to give that place up, I'm afraid. She can't keep that. Emerson pulling alongside as they enter to back, and Emerson goes through. So it was a wise move from Rosie to let him by, because she did overshoot the chicane to keep hold of second. And now she's got to go defensive here, because she's got Nivi closing down. I've got an instant set to 3. It's a coming together between Jay Hartnell and Big Balls Bowles. So Jay Hartnell's been given a time penalty for a collision with Big Balls Bowles, but will both of them need to pit in for repairs. Big Balls Bowles carries on, but Jay Hartnell coming into the pits now to serve that penalty and maybe try and go for the fastest lap as well. So Sansi now all over the back of Nivi in the race for 4. Now, with Rosie's time penalty, that would drop her, as it stands, down to 6th place. Jay Hartnell exits the pits on a set of these super soft tyres. And Dan Murphy's now got a time penalty. So Dan Murphy's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. Now, he's 3.4 seconds in the lead, but if Emerson can get to within 3 seconds of him before this race is done, Murphy's race victory will be handed over to him. Rosie getting another 3-second time penalty added. Been rather mediocre for it in regards to penalties. Trying to fend off from Nivi and the Premier of Santi. Emerson with a new fastest lap of a 1 minute 20.7. He currently holds the 2 points for the fastest lap. Now Jay Hartnell 25 seconds behind Dragon. So not only can try and go for the 2 points for the fastest lap, he can also try and get an extra point from going up from 8th to 7th. The point system for the sprint race is different to the feature race. 15 points for the race winner, right all the way down to 8th, who gets 1. But any driver within the top 10 can get the 2 points for the fastest lap. Considering there are only 9 runners in this one, or 9 runners I should say, there are only 8 runners left. Any one of them can get the fastest lap points. Emerson going for victory now. Is now within range to take the victory away from Murphy. He doesn't need to pull off this move on him. But I'd like to think he'll want to try and go for the fastest lap, because Jay Hartnell has come into the pits for the Super Soft compound. Is now within DRS range to have a go and use that DRS on the start finish straight to try and get in front of the Dams driver. So DRS open on the Virtuosi on the start finish straight. I think Murphy's letting him by easily actually. He doesn't want to bother giving him a hard time. And with that, Emerson gets the fastest lap. Setting a new fastest lap with 4 laps remaining in this race. Now Nivi will be looking to get past Rosie on the road. Now as it stands, he wants to try and get past her because Murphy's time penalty means that if Nivi can get to within 3 seconds of him, that would see him go up into 2nd place at the end of this race. In regards to the championship, with Santi 5th and Big Balls Bell 6th, the gap would come back down to 39 points in the championship before they go to Spa for the penultimate round of the championship, and the F2 season will conclude in Baku on June the 16th. So Nivi, can he get the job done? He's all over the back of the high tech of Rosie as they enter the Nouvelle chicane. Santi almost running into the back of the Carlin, but got away with it. Now can Nivi use DRS on the start finish straight to get past? Emerson has now got a time penalty of his own, 3 seconds. He won't want to be doing that on too many occasions. That could be good news for Nivi actually, because if he can get by Rosie and get past Murphy, that would put him potentially in play for the race win. But he's too far back to even think about that. He just wants to make sure he finishes ahead of Santi, who's all over the back of him. He wants to try and get by Rosie as soon as he can, because he knows he's quicker than her. But as they ever say in motor racing, catching is one thing, passing is quite another. Oh, Rosie nearly loses it. Has she got damage to the front wing? I think she may well have done, you know. I think she may have got away with it, actually, but that's going to cost her 2 positions to the Carly. And the Prima! Oh, they can't! Oh, they touched, and she's got damage to the front wing. Oh, that's such a shame for Rosie. She lost it coming out of Casino, which got her out of shape, lost momentum, and that cost her 2 positions to Nivi and Santi in the process. Big Boss Bells will go ahead of her as well. I think Rosie may as well come into the pits, get a set of super soft tyres on, and go for the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, Big Boss Bells is coming up behind her now. She's got to be careful not to take too many sharp turns. He's going to have awful understeer as well. Big Boss Bells getting a time penalty of 3 seconds to his name. Rosie decides to stay out and therefore go defensive. Now, Big Boss Bells will want to get by her as soon as he can. Maybe try and do a switchback on it, forcing her into a mistake, which he does, and that allows him through. And Rosie's now got damage. Now, I would say that's enough damage to see her come into the pit lane. She has to go very, very carefully, to be honest with you. Now, yeah, she's understeering into the barriers, look. Now, she's in 6th place, so she wants to try and get to the checkered flag without retiring the car. Now, with Rosie's 14-second time penalty, I'm just thinking, can Jay Hartnell on his set of Superstars, who now sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 20.5, those 2 points would be going to him. Can he get by Dragon? And possibly Rosie, I doubt it. Oh, and Rosie's out. Rosie's crashed out in the tunnel. I don't think we're going to be seeing a safety car, but that's Rosie's race over. Now, I think because she's completed 90% of the race distance, she may still get a point from this, but her race is over. She's not had a good one since she started on reverse grid pole. She's had a nightmare, to be honest with you, and her race is over. So at least Jay Hartnell will go up to 7th with Rosie's retirement. He can even try and get past the AI-controlled MP Motorsport car of Dragon for 6th. So it's not all bad news for the HWA driver. But here's Emerson, who's now on his final lap, about to take a convincing victory. It should have been the Revit race victory had it not been for that mistake in the swimming pool. But he's redeemed himself from that with some brilliant overtaking. And now he's on the verge of becoming a race winner in Monaco. Through the Nouvelle chicane for the last time. Into the back. And Jay Hartnell now ahead of Dragon into 6th place. That'll be another couple of points going, or another point going to his championship total. But here's Emerson exiting Anthony Nose for the last time onto the pit straight. And it's Emerson Hilton who wins in Monaco for UNI Virtuosi in the Formula Racing League F2 Tier 1 category. Dan Murphy comes home in 2nd place for Dams, and it's Nevi who should fend off the Prema of Santi to take the final place on the podium. So Nevi 3rd, Santi 4th, Big Boss Bells is 5th for Campos. So the gap at the top is now down to 39 points. Now can Jay Hartnell, who currently holds the fastest lap points, so he'll be taking those 2 points along with the 4, I think it is, for finishing in 6th place. We'll find out soon enough. But either way, he's going to cross over the line in 6th place and the fast lap points. And what is he doing there? What is he doing? He's going to hand 6th place over to Dragon. Silly thing to do that from Jay Hartnell. I don't know what on earth he was thinking. But Emerson is your race winner in the F2 sprint race in Monaco. Out onto the podium with Murphy and Nivi. celebrating away on the podium. And Emerson will be very, very happy till he's come away with a victory on the streets of Monte Carlo. So here's your final result of the sprint race. Emerson, your race winner, with Murphy second, Nivi third, Santi fourth, Big Boss Bells is fifth. So Santi does close back in by a couple of points to his championship rival. Dragon is sixth over the line. Not sure he'll keep that, actually, because that car was controlled by the AI throughout the whole race. So Jay Hartnell might get sixth place instead, which would promote Rosie to seventh, and Ascari not scoring any points because she retired and therefore not classified. Dragon won't be getting those points, I doubt it, but Jay Hartnell at least got the 2 points for the fastest lap as well. So just a reminder, 39 points is the gap at the top between Santi and Big Boss Bells. Big Boss Bells holding that lead as well, going to the next round of the championship, which will be in Spa in a week's time on the 9th of June, 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time for the Tier 1 race, or the Tier 1 round in the Formula Racing League. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.